Shamala, Principal Sister Remy Sisters of Management, lecturers, and my dear friends. I, Gayatri, BSc third year, cordially welcomes you to this past session where the topic is technology. Irrespective of any age, gender, one likes to communicate what he thinks and learns what one doesn't know. Technology affects the way individuals communicate, learn, and think. We use technologies to exchange information, to clean our clothes, to prepare our meals, and to get one place to another. But even everyday items like door locks, floor panels, and furniture are technologies that we now take for granted and that seem less impressive to us than self-driving cars or 3D printing. Now, let us invite our friends to give us more information on trending technologies. We welcome Jasmine Auntie.
Good morning, sister. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all the lecturers and students. I am Jasmine from BSc third year, and my teammates are Shravanti, Rishika, and Shazia. We are here to present about augmented reality and virtual reality. In this presentation, we are going to know about what is augmented reality and virtual reality, differences between them, their applications, advantages and disadvantages, and then we will conclude. Now, what is augmented reality and virtual reality? First, let me tell you about augmented reality. Nowadays, as many of us click pictures or take videos using filters, for example, like Snapchat and Instagram filters, have you ever wondered what is the technology behind it? It is augmented reality. In simple words, augmented reality is the mix and combination of real and virtual world. AR takes digital images and layers them on the real world objects. Few examples of AR are: you can check whether the furniture looks good in your living space even without purchasing it with a 3D representation of that furniture at your place. You can virtually try cosmetics through a live selfie. Now, let us know about virtual reality. Virtual reality, the user almost experiences a virtual environment which completely replaces the real world environment. By moving your head, it gives you a 360 view of virtual environment. The user experiences the virtual environment generated by the computer through a headset or a head-mounting device. Examples of virtual environment are video gaming, a 3D movie, an experience in space, and underwater environment.
Augmented reality and virtual reality are the two latest trending technologies that can change the world, that can change the view you look at the world. And augmented reality in short is known as AR and virtual reality is VR. Let's see some differences between them. User is involved both real world and virtual world in AR. Let's say if 75% is real world, then 25% is virtual world. But in case of virtual world, you will be totally involved in virtual world, which means 100 or it's more virtual. Let's say some 90% is virtual. And in AR, let's say you're taking a picture of your friend. You can easily differentiate the picture and your friend. But in case of VR, we cannot easily differentiate between the real world and virtual world. And in AR, we use mobile phone and smartphone and tablet, etc. But headset is not mandatory. But in case of virtual world, headset or glasses are mandatory. It's required. And user is not cut off from the real world in AR. So it enhances both real world as well as virtual world. But in case of virtual world, it enhances only fictional world. And
illustration of bodies, and brain rehabilitation, neurosurgery, and pharmaceutical fields. These are the fields which we use AR and VR in this medicine field. And we come to the military training. It is a tactical augmented reality. It creates a much safer environment for trainees and helps soldiers to develop cognitive skills. Education. In education, help learners to grasp abstract concepts and gains hands-on experience in low-risk virtual settings. And in travel and tourism, these applications convert your mobile phones into your personal tourist guide and creates a unique experience for the customer through VR and AR. In retail, VR showrooms and VR-based advertising. VR showrooms like IKEA virtual reality showrooms and e-commerce. In e-commerce field, customer can not only shop for products online through real life, but also try products virtually. It seems quite different to the real life and through this technology. Retailers can overcome physical limitations and offer access to every product field.
Advantages and disadvantages of AR. Advantages. AR is more advantageous as educating oneself with real hands-on experience increases user knowledge, as AR is everywhere today from Google Maps to simulation games. Share knowledge and experience without physical hindrances. AR is an inexpensive alternative to other media platforms, where AR effects are a combined part of most social media apps like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, etc. Disadvantages. AR is quite expensive, making it less accessible. In use, it can lead to use in inappropriate situations, causing harm, as it's quite common to access right from a smartphone. AR technology is not equipped with security policies. Intruders can hack AR-based devices and manipulate them according to their needs. Advantages and disadvantages of VR. Advantages. Virtual reality makes the process more easy and comfortable. Example, medical training eliminates the need for a natural element. With the use of VR, users can experiment with artificial environments, eliminating boundaries and the need for an actual workspace. Specifically designed environments to avoid misuse and lack of privacy. It also avoids data loss and maintains the privacy. Disadvantages of VR. Due to its rapid growth, programmers sometimes find it difficult to interact with it. Maximum use of VR makes one addicted to virtual world instead of real world. VR takes up a lot of space and requires a lot of computing power when compared to other devices.
Here we go with the conclusion. Augmented reality enables user to experience a perfect blend of digital world and physical evidence to create an artificial environment. And VR, virtual reality, forms an immersive technology that stimulates an alternative world or reality. Here, I like to conclude that AR and VR are shaping up the future technological paradigms. And that.
A very good morning to one and all. I am Janvi from BSc final year, and my teammates are Lindsay, Flora, Harita, and Vanu. Today we are going to present about 5G and Internet of Things, that is IoT. So before getting into the presentation, I'd like to give you a situation. Imagine you were in a rush to leave for somewhere, and you reached your destination in a hurry, and you reached your destination. And then you realized that you did off your AC. What would you do? You already reached your destination. What would you do after going there and you realize that, oh God, I didn't turn off my AC? What would you do at that time? No one is at home. Like, no one is at home. You come back all the way from there. What if I say right? So also imagine the world, like go into your imaginations, imagine the world where car accidents are a thing of the past. Matlab, no car accidents are going to happen, and where chronic health conditions like diabetes are managed 24 by 7. They're linked to blood sugars, like without having a blood sugars, highs and lows, and then where your smartphones, you can unlock your door using your face scan and then adjust the lighting and temperature of the room, and then you can also order groceries before you run out of your milk or something. Like it is done automatically. What if I say it is possible? Do you think it is possible? Yes, it is possible using IoT. So let's get to know what is IoT. So here is the typical definition of IoT. I will read it out. The term Internet of Things refers to physical things or group of such objects equipped with sensors, processing power, software and other technologies that communicate with other systems and devices over the Internet or other communication networks and exchange data with them. Did anyone understand what it is? No, right? It was a bouncer, right? It was also a bouncer for me when I first read it. So let's try to process it. So IoT is a system. IoT is a system where all the devices are connected together with internet, with wireless connections. So IoT is a giant network with connected devices, and these devices can be your mobile phone, your electronic appliances, anything like AC, TV, fans, lights. It can also be your automobiles. Like do anyone know Tesla? Yes, right? They are automated cars. So it can also be your automobile. So the thing is that these devices are connected together using internet, and so that they can share and transfer data about how they work, about like how they are, in which environment they are in. So this is IoT. You may be thinking, how can it be possible? If no one is operating it, how is it possible? So it is done using sensors. Sensors are equipped in all the electronic devices. Again, coming to electronic devices, it can be your mobile phones, AC, TV, CCTV cameras, and everything. So these sensors are embedded in every physical devices, and these sensors continuously emit data about the working state of that physical device or electronic device. So these sensors are continuously emit data and transfer data, track of your daily activities. So this is also an IoT. Smartphones are the best examples of IoT. In the first picture, you can see that the mobile phone is connected to all the electronic appliances in that room. So it can be your door lock, it can be anything like AC, microwave, or some fridge or anything. So this is an example of IoT. Another example is we already gave that example, that is your automated cars, smart cars. And then one more examples are street lights. These street lights have smart street lights. These street lights have sensors equipped in them, and then they'll get the data regarding the environment. They'll get to that sensor sense the environment and help the lights to turn on when it is dark. It also makes sure that the lights are dim when no one is around, and then the light intensity goes up when some person is walking over there or when a vehicle is passing through it. So with this we can also save our energy. In COVID-19 is the best example, right? When we were when the lockdown was happening and everyone were in our homes, and you were all only connected to internet. That is why that phase is known as Internet of People. Everyone, whether it could be like education, business, work, or anything, we were all related to internet. That is the reason that phase is called as Internet of People. And the last phase is Internet of Things. This phase is used to digitize the connection between a machine to machine, a thing to thing, using internet. So further explanation.
Okay, so we have known about IoT and further information about evolution and all of things. Now let us know then what to access IoT we need a network, right? Okay, without network we can't use a device. We need internet, we need a network. So 5G is capable to access all that information, grab that data and everything. So we use 5G as the network here. So I'll explain what is 5G. So 5G is a fifth generation mobile network. So it is a new global wireless standard after all the Gs, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G and everything. So now 5G enables a new kind of network that is designed to connect virtually everyone and everything together. So including machines, objects and any devices. And now that we know about 5G, so let us know the evolution of 5G. Now how did 5G come into existence? Right? So 5G, the first iteration, 1G, the first iteration had the code only for voice calls. We could only call or only it is just used for calling. So in the next generation, when 2G emerged, supporting voice and data and machine-to-machine communication enables simple solutions such as telematics, remote monitoring and control and more. And then evolved 3G. 3G is mainly used for web browsing and web browsing greatly expanded possibilities for IoT. And the invention took place obviously. And after 3G came 4G. Now along with higher speed data, video streaming of 4G, along with the advent of cloud computing, this unleashed a tidal wave of imagination and innovation that demanded higher bandwidth, greater capacity, stronger security, and continuous connectivity with lower latency. Like now that 4G is giving you all these, speed, latency, like low latency, and it is giving you more connectivity. Now, why did 5G come into existence? 5G is more than that. Like 5G is designed to provide more connectivity than was ever available before. So now let us know about what are the what are the features and advantages of 5G. Now, so processes has always been driven by the power of what's possible when people connect. Now, in the first phone call was made in Canada. Like Canada was the first one to use the phone call. Now Canadians had the freedom to connect anywhere with anyone. And since then everything changed. Like everything got we have empowered more connections and more collaborations, more navigations and more you have everything in the palm of your hand. So today as we invest in 5G, we see the future of unlimited possibilities. Technology, 5G has become the evolution of network technology today. So that we will it is used for connecting. It has high speed. You can store enormous data in that, and also the network is too fast. You can it has 20 Gbps per second. Can you imagine how fast it's going to work? So now we also have low latency and capacity that the 5G can connect more than 500 devices at a time. Like it is so you can connect many devices like you are out of state or out of country and you miss your family, right? You can only video call them or you can call them, that's it, right? If you're missing them badly, you know, in 5G you can use holograms. Anybody has heard about holograms? Yes, right? Holograms, you know, you can use holograms to communicate. You can talk with the holograms, like you will not even understand the whole, like it's a hologram. It will definitely look like a person standing. Okay? So now that we know about 5G, and this is the next generation of possibility. Now I would like to hand over the mic to Helen.
Now we know about 5G and IoT. So let us know about the technology use cases of 5G and IoT. Here many of them like to click pictures, get compliments after getting ready. So first case is smart mirrors. This is a mirror which displays news, temperature, climate, calendar, clock, and gives the compliments on the screens. As most of them like to click the pictures or selfies, most of them won't be perfect in that. So these mirrors have a built-in cameras with which it takes a perfect selfies. So next one is smart money transfer. So many of them uses Google Pay, Phone Pay in these days as they won't carry their money with them. So as most of them are using watches these days, more smart watches. So the smart watches helps us to pay through it. It will become very easy through smart watches than our phone pays. So next comes smart waist arms. These smart waist arms are the things which are used to, if there is a thing, you need to pick and put it somewhere else. You are not at home. So you can use these arms to place the things from one place to another place using few commands. So there are advanced arms also which are used to perform some surgeries in the hospitals and make and 3D paints or art, etc. Next comes smart irrigation. So smart irrigation is nothing but farmers farm, right? So sometimes if they are not well or they are in some other conditions, they cannot give the water to the plants. So then the plants die. Smart irrigation helps in this case. It checks, the system has a sensor which checks the moisture in the soil. If the water content in the soil drops below a certain value, then it automatically gives water to the plants so that it won't have less water to them. The water will be sufficient for it. Next comes the smart doors. How many of you forget that you lock the door or not while coming from home? No one is at home, you forget that you locked or not. How many will you forget? Yes, right? Or if you are in college, the main material is in college, you forgot the material. Or in offices, there will be few important which cannot be leaked. So here are the smart doors which helps in these cases. Smart doors, you can lock it with your phones, and you can give the permissions to others that they can enter your room or not. So these are the few cases in for IoT and 5G.
Through this presentation, we got a glance on what is 5G and what is IoT, and in combined, what could it be? Lastly, I conclude that 5G and IoT technology is more than just a new generation of wireless technology. 5G and IoT can help innovate new processes that could transform businesses, life, and the world. It is the fusion of the real, virtual, and digital worlds, creating a map of physical world with the virtual space. IoT and 5G combined are in existence but not yet popular. It is growing rapidly and has numerous
applications and benefits as we saw in the presentation. I hope this was informative. Thank you.
We're happy to know about 5G and its uses. Next, I would like to call Bhavani and Lee.
Good morning to one and all. We group of 5 students are here to present the presentation on Neuralink. The presentation on Neuralink. It is one of the best implementation of artificial intelligence.
Other context that we are using in Neuralink and how does it work, demo copy, pros and cons, and application of Neuralink.
The Neuralink input. We know that every solution starts with a problem. So there is a story behind of the origin of an item. For the Neuralink project, we know that lot of mental disorders and diseases are Alzheimer's, etc. And they reach with the people who needs devices or something so they can interact with the people. So Elon Musk, here is the one person, Elon Musk, thought we inject a chip which the people can interact with us and using devices. So he came up with an idea, Neuralink found by Elon Musk, and he founded in July 1960.
The concepts that are involved in the Neuralink are BMI and neural network. BMI is brain-machine interface. A BMI is a device that transfers neural information into the commands, and it is capable of controlling all the software and hardware such as computer and their robotic arms. BMI are often used as the assisted living of device for individuals with motors and sensors.
Basically, Neuralink is an ultra-thin mesh that can be implanted in skull, burning the unit of electrodes for monitoring brain function.
You may see the term Neuralink. Neural means now and link is a connection. There is a direct connection between brain and technology. For example, have you guys seen a Smart Shaker movie? Yes. There the doctors are implanted a small chip in the brain, right? The chip is nothing but Neuralink chip.
The 5 major steps of Neuralink are creation of threads, stitching of threads into the issues, reading the signals and hearing them, transmission of signals to amplifier, amplification of signals and transmission to the machine.
So the Neuralink looks. Neuralink chip looks like a size of a coin, and it would be embedded and in a person's skull from a chip and ARM. It's a tiny wire and in a tiny human head. It is a battery powered. It is a wireless. The Neuralink charges within 1 hour for whole day. The Neuralink uses consists battery, microchips, and electrothreads.
Let's say the ultra thin and flexible polynomial, which will contain the electrons and transfer the signals and information to the transmitter. These are the first implant in the brain. For example, you know Iron Man? There he has a electronic heart which he controls the gadgets. Threads are the 20 times thinner than our hair.
As you can see in the screen, electronics. The Neuralink device contains an array of 96 small flexible electrode threads with 32 independent arrays per thread, totaling 3072 electrodes of an array.
Robot. Neuralink is a mass neural interface technology company. It has developed a device that would be embedded in a person's brain, where it would record the brain activity and it can control the brain activity. And potentially it's also stimulating. Musk has compared the technology to a filled brain in your skull.
Demo of working. Neuralink chip was first implanted on a rat and it was succeeded. And then they tried it on a pig and it was also succeeded.
Here are the pros and cons. Alzheimer's, dementia, spinal cord injuries. This chip is a very useful. It cures the spinal cord disease or our human body disease. And for example, paralysis. There is no disadvantages till now. If there, it will be in our future. Sorry. brain.
And finally, conclusion. Neuralink is the future technology that can heal multiple disorders. But now, an electronic device inside a human skull is not implemented yet, but rather it may be in the future. Thank you.
Next, I would like to call Vijayalakshmi Aunty.
Good morning to everyone. I am Gayatri of BSc 2 and my fellow mates are Vijaya, Karishma and Anusha.
See Karishma, I couldn't find my account balance. It was 10k yesterday. What to do now?
Same as here, Vijaya. Someone is using my Insta account and also uploading pics. What to do now?
Even I don't know.
Okay, can you all guess what is the reason behind it? Yes, exactly, you are right. Now let us know what is hacking. Data in a system or a computer is known as hacking. For example, you have a system and you want to open some window which is set with a password and you might have forgot the password. What you will do? Okay. But when coming to the hackers, what they will do means they need not to know your password to open it, right? So they hack that with their illegal skills. Green hat hackers, crypt hackers, blue hat hackers, and red hat hackers.
Different types of hackers in our society. Ignorant hackers, here are few. Ethical hackers. Ethical hackers involves an authorized attempt to gain unauthorized access to a computer system, application, or data. Carrying out an ethical hack involves duplicating strategies and actions of malicious attackers. Black hat hackers. Black hat hackers are criminals who break into computer networks with malicious intent. They also release malware that destroys files, holds computer hostage, or steals the password, credit card numbers, and other personal information. They are motivated by self-serving reasons such as financial gain, revenge, or simply to spread havoc. White hat hackers. White hat hackers use the same method of black hat hackers, but the key difference is they have the permission of the system owner first, which makes the process completely legal. Grey hat hackers. Grey hat hackers may sometimes violate the laws or usual ethics and standards, but they do not have the malicious intent typical of black hat hackers. When a white hat hacker discovers a vulnerability, they will exploit it only with the permission and not tell others about it until it has been fixed, whereas black hat hackers will illegally exploit it or tell others how to do so. The grey hat hackers will neither illegally exploit it nor tell others how to do so. I think most of them here are users of Instagram. So Instagram hacks usually happens when attackers find your account or password details after a data breach or getting access to phishing or the third-party apps. Hackers use the C language, C programming to access and manipulate the system resources and hardware components such as RAM. China is the best hackers. Procedure of hacking. Reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is the information gathering stage of ethical hacking where you collect data about the target system. Scanning. Scanning refers to collecting more information using complex and aggressive reconnaissance techniques. Gaining access. It is a second part of the network penetration test. The goal of it is to collect enough information to gain access to the target. Maintaining access. Hacker will just hack the system to show it was vulnerable, or he can be so mischievous that he wants to maintain or persist the connection in the background without the knowledge of the user. Clearing track. No thief wants to get caught, right? So, an hacker always clears all the evidence so that in the later point of time, no one will find any traces leading to him. This involves modifying, deleting the values of logs, modifying, registering of values, and uninstalling all the applications he used and deleting all folders he created.
Hacking websites. The hacker knows
Today we will find the latest cybersecurity news and how they are shaping the cyber world. We will read security. Believe security comes from the brains of ESET. Experienced researchers with in-depth knowledge and security trends. Hacker Ones. The world's leading bug bounty and brings you the articles on news, events, etc. Latest hacking. Latest hacking is the leading source dedicated to promoting awareness of hackers. Deployed. Leading source of security tools, logs, calls, cover Android, iPhone, Windows, etc. Tips of hackings. Phishing. All our inboxes daily chat right, in Instagram, in messaging inboxes and WhatsApp. This all are filled up with the phishing apps. So when you click, you trust a person, they send you a link. When you click on that, then your personal data is sold. That means your personal data is sold to them. They can get your personal data. Bait and switch attack. Using trusted marketing methods such as paid advertising websites, attackers can trick you. Keylogger. A keylogger is a small piece of software. When downloaded with record, the keystroke usually they store your data. When you click on the link, they store your data in that. Denial of service. A technique designed to flood your web server with requests to overload the web server, request to website crash. Cookie theft. Anyone knows what is cookie theft? Eating cookies, right? So when you browse, usually you browse the internet, right? Their data will be stored. Means they can see your passwords. When you log into your Instagram using the Chrome website, so they can get their username also and your password also. So with that they can steal your data. Can anyone know who is the world's #1 hacker? Yeah, it's obviously Kevin McKinney. He was born on August 6, 1963. He is an American computer security consultant, author, and convicted hacker. Once he was hacked, FBI's most wanted one, and he hacked more than 40 major corporations just for a chance, but not for the money. But today, he is a trusted, highly sought after security consultant to Fortune 500 and various governments worldwide. He is also a global best-selling author, and his books are over 550 countries and 20 languages. Over 1 million professionals watch his Kevin McKinney training programs every year. Finally, if hackers could be the Mike Jack, hackers could be the rock stars, Kevin McKinney with the Mike Jack. So as we see, the world's #1 hacker is the Kevin McKinney, and he hacked the FBI's account also. So what about ours? He can hack ours too. So what we can do? So here are few measures. But before telling measures, let me ask you all a question. Where was the last place that you visited that had network, like public Wi-Fi would be there? So where was the last place? Bus stops, shopping malls, libraries, even colleges also have Wi-Fi. So what we have to get habituated to use that network. So what happens when we use the network? The hackers in that area may hack our account and store our information. To avoid the risk of sharing our info, here are few measures. Here are few measures that can help us to secure our data. Don't access personal or financial data with public Wi-Fi. Many of us have a habit of using public Wi-Fi, right? So while using, we make payments like payments with credit cards and we check our account balance. So when we do that financial and personal data, rather we can do the things with using the secure network. Like using secure connection may give you secure data. Next is turning off anything that you don't need. Hackers use different features like different features to store your information, like location, connection. So instead of keeping your GPS track and wireless connection, geo tracking on all the time, just on when you need them. Choose your apps wisely. Only download apps from
from trusted sources and that have good reputation. Make sure you update your apps regularly as well as your softwares. Delete all the unwanted apps from your devices. Second is use password or login or encryption. Make sure your password contains at least 8 characters, contains the uppercase, lowercase, numbers and special symbols like hashtag, like that. Never use the option of autocorrect while filling your password. And set your screen timer after 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes is also better. Be skeptical about links and articles. If you are not sure about any source that from where you get link, don't click or don't open or don't forward it. Trace or erase. Even if your phone is stolen, make sure your data is secure. You can opt this feature by setting up your device to log itself after 2 to 3 attempts of failed login. So at the end, I want to say that one single vulnerable is all the attack mechanism. So make sure you don't do one single mistake that allows you to make 100 mistakes. So be private, be secure and be encrypted. Thank you.
To continue, I call Nikita and team.
Everyone, I am Saraya from BSc second year. My teammates are Sai, Nikita and Harshita.
Okay, so how many of you here know about something called metaverse? Or something called video gaming like yeah, some of you know, right? So do you know that this metaverse was actually invented by a novelist? This may be interesting, but yeah, this was invented by a novelist in the year 1992 in a novel called Snow Crash, and the novelist's name is Neil Stephenson. In this novel, he pictured humans as avatars where these avatars interact with each other in three-dimensional virtual space. So by taking this as a base concept, now they are developing it into a metaverse, and this metaverse is trending right now. So now let me give you a brief about what it actually is metaverse. Metaverse is actually a combination of two words like meta and universe, where meta is known as beyond or after, which basically gives us the meaning beyond the universe. So metaverse basically means beyond the universe. We have known about it, right? Let us further move to definition of metaverse. A metaverse is a graphical and hypothetical iteration of rich virtual space which claims of reliability where people can work, play, socialize, etc. Did you understand anything? No, right? Let me give this in a simple words. So this metaverse actually can be defined as simulated, which means imitation of augmented reality and virtual reality. So the imitation of AR and VR is called metaverse. You have already known about AR and VR, but let me give you some brief information about it. So let's talk about VR. Virtual reality is use of computer technology to create simulated environment which we feel like we are in other place but just being in your place. For this we need an special equipment to experience VR, and this can be explored in 360 degrees. AR is also something similar to it, and I'll tell you briefly. AR is the experience of real world environment, which means it gives us an impression like we are seeing it. We are there and we are seeing it, and it is explored in 180 degrees. So this, now I hope you understand why I have told that imitation of AR and VR. And this is the picture where I can tell you that it briefly gives you a differentiate AR and VR. So like daily we use apps, right? In that also AR and VR is introduced, and metaverse is also introduced in it.
It is a brief explanation, I think so. metaverse and how we have to enter into that metaverse. Now I will tell you about how do you get into metaverse. We can easily access the metaverse by creating our own avatars on the platform. This is one of the finest and simplest way to enter into the metaverse. Have you guys ever played PUBG? How many of you play PUBG here? In PUBG, what we will do, we will create an avatar. We will choose the gender, we will select the dressing style, hairstyle, and that is how we create an avatar and we will enter into the metaverse. Actually, PUBG is the best example of the metaverse. It is invented by the Unity company. Those who didn't play the PUBG, we have in simple words to say, everyone of here has Snapchats now, right? In Snapchats, what we use we will create avatar. We will nicely give hairstyles, dressing styles. What we cannot do in the real world, we will do in that physical, in that image. So that is how we enter into the metaverse. After entering to the metaverse, what you can do in metaverse? Imagine a virtual world. You can go, live, work, shop, and play games just by sitting in your room. It sounds good, right? We can be in our home, in our room, and we can explore the another universe. Express yourselves through avatars. A student learn the topics in a 3D environment like educational apps. By use st.ann, we'll learn things in some videos types, and animations and also we can play games, trade, sell and work collaboratively. Do anyone of here heard about buying land virtually? Buying the land virtually. No one? We can buy land virtually which doesn't exist in the real world. Like there is no bonds, no nothing. We will buy the land in virtual world in the form of cryptocurrency, like bitcoins, that exist in the computer technology. We cannot say we have Edgar case and I have this much. We cannot say like that. It exists in only universe, multiverse. Last year, virtual land developer Republic Hill brought land from video game company Atari in the sandbox metaverse for a record of $4.3 million. It sounds expensive, but it is really expensive. We can also do online shopping and virtual clothing. Mainly, we can earn money in metaverse through by playing games. By playing games which offers money, the most significant opportunity to earn money through gaming in the metaverse for everyone else is in in-game assets. Like such as Axie, Infinity and the Sandbox offers players the opportunity to earn money by simply playing these blockchain-based video games. NFT freelance artist. NFT means non-fungible token. These are unique cryptographic tokens that exist on a blockchain and cannot be replicated. NFT artists, even recently Instagram introduced NFT in the form of digital collectibles. And we can also become realistic in the virtual world. Don't think it is completely different to the physical world. It is likely similar to the real world, the virtual world, metaverse. How metaverse will be going to change the world? You'll be thinking that it is only physical world, what we can do, or else it just exists in the computer world, why should I have to care about it? The future is dependent on metaverse. It is a future technology which we will be thinking in the science fiction movies. We will all see English science fiction movies. Maybe they will see, we can sit here and we can scroll everything in an LCD and we can travel to the other place. By just sitting, everything will come to us. Just like that, it can be done by only this metaverse technology. And another live example is Facebook rebranded to Meta, introduced the metaverse to mainstream media. Everyone is thinking that Facebook is changed the
name into Meta, right? Recently they have changed Facebook into Meta. Not because the Facebook word name has got negative compliments or its Facebook word is not good. That doesn't mean that their shares have been decreasing because of the Facebook word. They changed the Facebook name because to introduce metaverse. And additionally, Google has been working on its own approach to connect the digital and physical worlds through AR, and Microsoft also significantly working in virtual workplaces and working spaces. These are the examples of metaverse games: PUBG, Sandbox, and Candy Crush. Top companies in the metaverse. Top company buildings in the metaverse doesn't mean they have buildings in the metaverse. They are using metaverse, they are collaborating with the metaverse technology. The top companies you can see: Google, Microsoft, Epic Games, the Sandbox, Snapchat, Unity Software, Nvidia, and Amazon.
Advantages of metaverse. It helps in the connecting with people around the world virtually. You will get a new experience, then you explore the virtual world. We can better interact with people. Upgrade will be made within the social media, like creating avatar reaction to the messages, etc. We can learn new things through the graphical animation with briefly in our education. By using metaverse, positive impact is made in cryptocurrency. Improvement in the game doing in the will be done. Disadvantages of metaverse. Then we are interact with others through the video calls, etc. There is a chance to face privacy issues. User may get addiction to it. Spending a lot of screen time may lead to health complications. Metaverse now like using only cryptocurrency. Desensitization, which is the effects of viewing violence. There may be chance of getting hacked.
By this, I want to conclude that the metaverse is a fictional universe which uses AR and VR technology. The idea of metaverse means an ever-growing share of our life, leisure, time, where happiness and relationship will be spent inside virtual world rather than just aided through digital devices. It will be parallel plane of existence that suits atop our digital and physical economies and unites both. Thank you. I hope you will enjoy this.
Knowledge. Next, I would like to call Chandana Aunty.
Good morning to everyone present here. I am Nancy and our topic is quantum computing and my teammates are Preeti, Chandana and Aisha. So normally technology is the thing that we start the day and end the day and also the continue the day. So let's learn about the technology which is upcoming technology, that is quantum computing. So let us look at it.
You all must have heard the word quantum, and what is quantum actually is. Quantum is unit of energy or packets of energy, which is derived from the Latin word means quantum. So, which means amount of or how much. For example, we have the energy of light, electricity, this all. So some quantum of light is known as photon. Some quantum of electricity is known as electron. So we have learned what is quantum or quanta. So we'll get more about quantum physics. So you all here have heard the word quantum physics or quantum mechanism at the several of the words. So you might be wondering, what is this? Quantum physics is a part of physics which describes the physical matter properties of nature as atoms or subatomic particles, which is developed in mid-1920s by Niels Bohr and Max Born. So you might have wondering what this quantum mechanism or quantum theory is related to computing. So quantum
computer is related to quantum mechanism as it follows the principle of quantum mechanism. So, in quantum computing, it tells about a superposition theorem and also several other theorems. Like in superposition, it tells about an object can be at two places, at one time can be at two places. So, quantum computer make use of quantum mechanism such as quantum bits and superposition. As we all know, a wave-particle duality is an example of superposition, that is quantum object existing in multiple states at once. That is, computer uses, normally we know that computer uses binary bits like 0 and 1. But in quantum computer, as we know about superposition, the 0 or 1 is not like that. The zeros can be 1 and the 1s can be zeros in that. So that it takes it requires a little space for that. It won't use much space, and it use the main thing is like using the quantum bits or the quantum bits. The quantum computer makes the arithmetic operations faster than the ordinary computers.
Now let us know about how a quantum computing works. Actually, we have two types of computers, classical computer and quantum computer. In classical computer, we have, as you don't understand our language, it will be in binary language, either 0 or 1, like that. But in quantum computers, we have both 0 and 1 at one place. Those are called qubits. And these qubits are placed in a particular chip in quantum computer. And let us take an example. If we toss a coin, it falls heads or tails, like 0 or 1. What's the value of coin when it is in the air? We can't tell, right? It's a weird way. We can keep it as 0 and 1, both we can say. It will be spinning in the air, right? So we can't decide if it has heads or tails. So it is in the same way. Like you all know 4-bit numbers, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Like we have 16 numbers, right? So if I have a computer and one of those 16 numbers is my password, but I forgot it. So in supercomputers or classical computers, we have to enter those 4-bit numbers, and all the 16 numbers we have to enter. And in quantum computer, the numbers will be like this. We don't need to enter all those 16 numbers. We just need to enter these values, and the computer will say you have entered correct password and incorrect password. And still I want to know the correct password. To know the correct password, you have to use, there is a technique, Grover operation. By using that operation, we will get to know correct number. Either it may be 41, 40, 0001, like that. We will get the accurate value. And now we look to its advantages of a quantum computing. It is a faster computation. When compared to normal computers or supercomputers, quantum computer works 1,000 times faster. We can solve easily, or we can do actions very easily. And medicine creation. In quantum computers, you don't create a formula. If we enter a disease, you don't create a formula for the medicine which to be cured, and high privacy. As in computers also we have less privacy and all know. So in quantum computers we have high privacy such that no other people can access our accounts and all that things. It is used in artificial intelligence. It is best for simulations and radar mining, machine learning. Machine learning in quantum computers, they create machines which
works very fast and they don't have any interruptions in between, like struck like that. Low temperature. It should be minus 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the lowest temperature on the universe, and it's very hard to keep the temperature. And it's not open for public. It's very, as I said in advantages, it has high privacy. It will not open to everyone. And the next one, internet security. Like as before, teams said hacking, cybersecurity, all that topics. The same quantum computers also have a little bit of insecurity. And here I want to mention the latest news about quantum computing is Google. In 2019, Google has they had passed a milestone known as quantum supremacy when the quantum computer Sycamore performed in 200 seconds, which can be done in 10,000 years using a supercomputer or main computer. And recently, China has launched a satellite using quantum computing, and they declared that they declared as no one can hack the quantum computing. Companies who use quantum computing: Microsoft, IBM, Google, Honeywell, and some companies. And there are some companies which develop quantum computing are Intel Corporation, IBM Corporation, Deep Wave System Corporation, Cambridge Quantum Computing Limited, and these companies will develop quantum computing, and the research is also on to it. They are in the process of it.
We just now learn what is quantum computing and quantum computing working and advantages and disadvantages. So let us look into applications. So quantum encryption. Encryption is like eavesdropping or copying the data with, like, when we open a data or website in a thing. So the information which we have, the personal information will be taken up by other web. So when we have the quantum computing in our computer, it prevents to not take the information of us. And the second application is supply chain logistics and companies' activities. Like for example, a company is there and a customer. So a company shares a product to the customer. So in this process, a technology will take place. So in the technology, the quantum computing helps to technology to move faster or easier. And the next application is optimization. Optimization is one of the most difficult things in quantum computing. Optimization meaning is upgrade. So normally when we upgrade our house, we move so many things and also like so much hard work and also time will take it. But when we upgrade a system or any web, so the quantum computing will help and makes it easier. And the next application is data analysis. Data analysis is like entering the data into documents. So when we enter the data into documents, sometimes we lose the data, and when we open the another application, another window, the data which we enter in the document will sometimes be lose, or sometimes it happen like deleted. So when we have the quantum computing in our computer, so the data which we have, that doesn't go, so that doesn't lose the data. So that's what the quantum computing helps in data analysis. So the next application is aviation calculations. So it is based on quantum chemistry. Normally in quantum chemistry we have electrons, photons. In first year or in 10th class we normally calculate the electron neutrons like overlapping thing. So when we have the quantum computing, we normally we calculate and we use calculations. So but when we have the quantum computing, it makes it easier to count the overlapping of electrons and protons. And the next application is simulations of quantum system. Here in a quantum system, when qubits are normally to simulate. So when the simulations are happening, the qubits are normally like it will go so many qubits will come and go. So the quantum system helps to count the qubits fastly. And the next application is drug development. So in drug development, where so many experimental medicines and expensive medicines and also expired medicine takes place. So when we sell a medicine to a customer, we have to scan the medicine QR code or barcode to sell the thing. So if a medicine is expired or not, sometimes our computer, sometimes in hospital, the medicine like the office maybe the computer may be contains of some glitches. When it happens, so it will be a problem. So when we have the quantum computing, so it never shows the glitches and it shows the current experimental and expired medicines. So the drug development makes it easier to go without glitches or errors. So the last application is finance. In finance, we have to contain so much data. Sometimes we lose the data and sometimes we can't edit the data. But quantum analysis helps us to retrieve the data. So here is the name. So maybe 2 years back or 3 years back, the Instagram went down, right?
Yes.
Whenever we open the Instagram, it went down and down. So all people pay so much for it. So what happened really was, whenever there is a data to add or some data to edit, the Instagram went down, or else the Instagram will go like down for 1 hour or 2 hours. So the way is like Instagram app closing automatically. So that is app free. We are so much free. So that is me, of course, with me, because I was nearly 24 hours online in Instagram, right? So Amon account came on me. So someone said that the account came available, just Instagram server down I said, okay, no problem. So that's what me was. So the next is real life situations with quantum computing. So the real life situation with quantum computing plus the main situation we have that is happening in our life is weather determining or weather forecasting. So weather determining is like normally we will get the notification in our mobiles. Like after every 1 hour or half an hour, we will get the information like today is sunny or today is rainy or something like this. So elements like humidity, temperature, wind speed, rainfall, etc. We will get the information or a notification in our mobiles like after 1 hour. Like this weather determining is used by IBM, utilizes quantum computing for exact weather conditioning. And as of now, and also quantum computing servicing practically all biotech suppliers like Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook. And also and one more real life situation was more accurate weather forecasting, more accurate weather forecasting, like predicting the weather for 80% to 90%. Like for example, I saw a movie, so whether the weather will be good for 80% or the weather will be bad for 20%. So when a person describes like today it will rain at 5 o'clock, but the rain will fall at after 1 day 5 o'clock. So that's what happens. So normally these quantum computing scans the data and helps us to say that the rain will fall at 5:30, but the rain will fall at 5 o'clock. That's what happens. But then without the quantum computing, the notification and also the information will be given wrong. So these are the normal questions and basic questions that we have to know when we know the quantum computing thing. So the first question is, are phones quantum computers? I will repeat once again. Are phones quantum computers? Actually, it's a quantum technology which we are getting in the mobile. So quantum computers is like quantum computing for computers and the quantum technology for mobiles. And the next thing is, which technology will quantum computing impact most significantly? So the next one is artificial technology, which was the second technology is going trending. And the third one is, which technology is making quantum computer easier? We just now learned that virtual reality technology. And the third question is, how can quantum computing be useful in our future? I just now discussed and also has discussed that normally in olden days when we had the traditional computers, whenever there is a complexibility or any problem that means it takes some years to verify the problem or solve the problem. But nowadays when we have the quantum computing, the problem will solve very soon or the problem will solved by a day or a 10 days. So that's it. So I hand over session to Aisha.
The last line is the state of quantum computing. We forgot to introduce from where did it start actually. Quantum computing began in 1980 when a physicist Paul Benioff proposed a quantum mechanical model. Later, quantum computers were proposed in 1980s by Richard Feynman and Yurin Manin. 2017, Chinese researchers report the first quantum teleportation of independent single photon qubits from a ground observatory to a low Earth orbit satellite. And in 2021, University of Chicago researchers sent for the first time the entangled qubit states through a communication cable linking one quantum network node to a second node. And the last news is future news. 5 developers of quantum systems have announced plans to have fault-tolerant quantum computing hardware by the year 2030. And last but not the least, conclusion. Thus, quantum computing has emergent potential and ability to transform and reshape fundamentally other industries. So now I hope you all got an idea about quantum. Thank you.
Lalita from BSc 2 and my teammates are Maheshwari, Suparna and Shrija. We are here to give a presentation on cyber security. Topic for today's Spark session is trending technology. Though cyber security is not so new, we have chosen this because we felt it right to discuss in this platform. So let me know when you will install an app, any application, what all you will do? Yes, we have to get everything as soon as possible, whatever it might be. So this is all what we do. And I have to tell this for security, ma'am will tell them, you click whatever you want, you enter into any link, don't do that. Ma'am used to tell detail in everything. She used to tell detailedly what happens if you do. So we have to thank him, ma'am, for this. Next slide, please. Cybersecurity is the protection of computer systems from information disclosure. The field has become of significance due to the expanded reliance on computer systems, the internet and wireless network standards such as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and due to the growth of smart devices including smartphones, televisions and the various devices that constitute the Internet of Things. Cybersecurity is also one of the significant challenges in the contemporary world due to the complexity of information systems, both in terms of political usage and technology. Its primary goal is to ensure the system's dependability, integrity, and data privacy.
Cybersecurity is important because it protects all categories of data from theft and damage. This includes sensitive data, personally encryptable information, personal information, intellectual property, data, and industrial information systems. Both inherent risk and restrictions are increasing demand from the global connectivity and usage of cloud service like Amazon Web Service to store sensitive data and personal information. Cyber threats can come from any level of your organization. Workplace must include cybersecurity. Common cyber threats like social engineering, scams, and other malware designs to steal intellectual property of personal data. These has been a rapid increase in the use of online environment where millions of users have access to internet resource and providing context on a daily basis. It's important to cover all the field of cybersecurity to stay well protected.
crimes. Crimes against people, crimes against property, crimes against government. Firstly, we'll discuss about crimes against people. This is the form of cyber stalking, trafficking and grooming. Over the years, this type of cybercrime has been taken seriously by law enforcement agencies. It is now keeping a track over every such attack on an individual. Secondly, crimes against property. Similar to the real world where criminals steal the property, in the cyber world, attackers steal data. Here is the attacker steals a personal bank details and misuses the credit card for online purchases. By using malicious software, the attacker attacks the property to distribute the system of the organization. Crimes against government. This type of crimes are denoted as crime terrorism. This can be terror because the attacker can get hold of essential documents related to government projects. An enemy nation or terrorist usually make such attacks. There are many cases globally where a terrorist hacks government data. Apart from this, there is a financial crime where the hacker steals the money of the user account holder. Moreover, they steal company data and finance. Okay, Lalita, I want to know something.
What is it?
Did you like my Insta post?
అదిగో మళ్ళీ మొదలు సోషల్ మీడియాలో అకౌంట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుని మెయింటైన్ చేయడం సేఫ్ కాదని తెలిసి కూడా వై డు యు సేమ్ ఆల్ ద టైం
Suvarna, I'm already following your account. Then why did you get the request from another account?
ఏమో సార్ నాకు తెలియదు.
నీకు తెలియకుండా రిక్వెస్ట్ వెళ్ళదు నేను చెక్ చేయి
అట్లుంటది ఇలాతోని వచ్చాడా
OMG, my account has hacked.
పాస్ట్ లో ఒకసారి అకౌంట్ హ్యాక్ అయ్యాక మళ్ళీ అయితే తెలిసి కూడా నువ్వు పబ్లిక్ అకౌంట్ చేసినావు చూడాలిక ఓ స్వీట్ ఆఫ్ యూ
Okay, this has really happened with their lives. Their accounts got hacked. They'll let us know what happened actually.
Actually, 1 year ago, when I opened my Instagram account, I have logged into some another new account of mine, and he is messaging me some threatened messages and some vulgar messages also. So, with the help of my sister and my cousin, I have complained to cybercrime, and I also informed the Instagram officials, and then I get my account back.
Mine is little bit different story. I did not even know until the damage occurred. Actually, the hacker created an account that is with my ID. So he posted 4 pics of mine, and with this account he sent all the requests to all my friends. Meanwhile, my best friend has accepted it very quickly. She thought that really I only kept that another account. Thinking it, meanwhile, my friend chatted with that hacker. So normally I used to speak in Telugu, but that stupid hacker did not know this, and he started chatting in Hindi. She felt something wrong and she called me while speaking in Hindi. So I got completely shocked because I was not in online and I did not even message her. So after checking my mobile, I got to know that account is hacked. Now this hacker is bothering my friend. Like he kept so many messages and he kept so many threat messages. So my friend was continuously crying. I did not know what to do. Later on, I realized that if I kept I realized that if so many members report an account, it will be lost. So I
them to report and problem got solved. So to safeguard ourselves from such cyber attacks, we need to follow some precautions. మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా?
As you all said, real life examples of Suparna and Maheshwari, right? So to overcome all these problems, here are the 11 tips you have to follow. The first one is use a full service internet security site. So we have to trust the security software which is like Norton 360, Authenticator and etc. It's an all-rounder protection app and which protect our device safely. And the second one is use strong password. If we keep a strong password, we can save our devices safely. And don't keep the same password to different websites. And we are using the many websites like email, Facebook, WhatsApp and etc. And many of them keep the same password to all the websites, right? Because they forgot the passwords. That's right. So please don't keep the same passwords to all the websites and change your passwords repeatedly, immediately. And the third one is keep your software updated. If you update your software, it is very important to update our software because to our operating system and internet security software safely. So fourth one is manage your social media settings. So don't keep your personal and private information on public. Keep it on private. If many of you people will keep the personal and private information on Instagram's public only. So don't keep that information public. Keep it on safety. And because cyber criminals can get little bit information like pet names, date of birth in enough to hack your accounts. The basic information is enough to get your information. So don't keep your information on public. And the fifth one is strengthen your homework. So keep your encryption password, strong password, and as well as a virtual private network. And the next one is talk to your children about internet. So every coin has two faces, right? So even the internet is also have two faces like advantage and disadvantage. So talk to your children both the advantage and disadvantage and don't without shutting down communication channels. And the seventh one is keep update on major security breaches. So what is mean by breaches? Right, sir. If you have an account, basically everyone has an Instagram accounts, right? Instagram, Facebook. Only Instagram? Okay. If you have an account on websites, so it is directly or indirectly it is impacted on our security, right? Yes or no? It is directly or indirectly it will impact our security and by keeping our information, please be clear and safe. And don't keep your personal information on anywhere. So if you think the information is going to the hackers, then please try to change your passwords immediately. And the eighth one is take measures to help you protect yourself against identity theft. So when why the hackers will take your personal information? Can anyone answer?
To threaten us. To threaten us.
Okay. Because for an economical gain, they take your personal information and they create another account and they keep our personal information and they trade us, right? For economical gain, they demand the money, right? So they demand the money. So don't keep, which is nothing but fraud, right? Fraud. So for economical purpose, they do everything. They are ready to do anything. So next one, ninth one is note that identity theft can happen anywhere, right? Identity theft can happen anywhere. So for example, we go in somewhere and we use the Wi-Fi, right? So Wi-Fi passwords, we take the passwords. We will not type the passwords in our mobiles, right? We will access to that Wi-Fi. We will access to our Wi-Fi, we will use their Wi-Fi, then use our network. Our private information they take. By using a little bit of information, they can take our total personal information. So don't try to access outside Wi-Fi. So आपको किसे मार तो देख रहा है मोबाइल देखा होता है बाहर पर एक्टिविटी करने का बाहर टाइप करते हैं. So don't try to access outside Wi-Fi. And the 10th one is keep an eye on the kids. So just all basically parents will talk about advantages and disadvantages, right? So not only advantages and disadvantages. So parents can know everything. So most of the people will not tell the parents about the internet issues. So many people are trying not telling the parents and committing suicides because of internet issues. So please try to give them the freedom to share everything with you. Protect them from the internet theft. And here is the 11th one, know what to do if you become a victim. If you become a victim, what you will do? If you become a victim on internet issues, what you will do?
We will post on our stories to know others. We will share that to others.
Okay. Next.
Improve cyber security.
First of all, we need to alert the local police, because if we go immediately to the local police, they can do anything. So next, if the issue is big, we have to go to the FBI and FTC. What's the full form of FBI and FTC?
FBI.
FBI and FTC.
Investigation and PIC.
Okay. FBI is nothing but Federal Bureau Investigation and FTC is Federal Trade Communication. So we have to, if the big issue is big, please go to the FBI and FTC. If the issue is small, please contact the local police. So if the criminals have stolen your identity, like a phone pay, Google Pay, if they have your accounts, then what you will do?
We will go to the bank.
So first one, we have to contact the companies and banks, and we will tell them to close our accounts, right? So and next, if you know the identity theft, then we have to report the FTC, which is nothing but Federal Trade Communication. So I hope these 7 tips will protect you from a cyber crime.
Thank you for listening so patiently to us. So just in my conclusion, stay safe online, don't be quick to click. Thank you.
For cyber security. Next, I would like to call Pavani and team.
Good afternoon. I am Pavani. My teammates are Swati, Swati, Vaishnavi, Pooja. So this topic is divided into. Today we are going to discuss about AR. AR is known as augmented reality. So this topic is divided into 5 sections. So this topic is divided into 5 sections. Introduction of augmented reality and types of augmented reality. Real world of applications of augmented reality and list of top AR companies. Development, engineering, defense, and SDK, software development teams. What is the future of augmented reality? And last we will show a small demo. Now let us know about augmented reality. The real-time use of information in the form of text, graphics, audio, and other virtual objects combined with real world. Augmented reality is classified into 3 basic features. A combination of real and virtual world, real-time interaction, and 3D virtual and real objects. The first AR technology was developed in 1968. Computer scientists named the father of computer graphics created an AR head. So let us know what is augmented reality. Is called augmented reality. It is the combination of real world and virtual world, and combination of 25% of real world and 75% of virtual world. Let us know
what are the types of augmented reality? There are two types of augmented reality. One is mask-based AR and another is maskless AR. Mask-based AR augmented reality applications use an image as image target and place the object in the given space using 3D models. Markerless augmented reality. Application use real-time environment to place the object in 3D model. There are some photo images of mark-based and there are some markless AR. Now, my friend Swati will continue the topic real-world applications of augmented reality and this list of top AR.
Augmented reality is also used in games. For example, one of the real-world applications of augmented reality is Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was designed by John Hanke and it was owned by American software development company which is located in San Francisco. Augmented reality is also used in medical training. For example, Human Anatomy Atlas. Anatomy is an educational three-dimensional web platform created by 3D Flow Medical, which has been developing medical products since 2009. Augmented reality is also used in car mechanics. For example, some of the real-world application of augmented reality is iMechanic, BMW wearable mechanic, etc. Augmented reality is also used in bike companies like Harley Davidson, one of the most famous bikes. It also uses augmented reality application to help the customers in the store. For example, Harley Davidson AR. F35 Elements is also a company which uses augmented reality. They use augmented reality in their helmets to avoid mobile phones while driving bikes. Now, let us discuss some of the top companies in augmented reality. ScienceSoft is one of the top companies in augmented reality which is located in Texas, USA with 26 years of experience in 3D modeling and 16 years of experience in AR. ScienceSoft develops high-end AR software. iTech Art is also one of the top company in augmented reality field. It is located in New York, USA. It provides AR development services and they have started this company 15 years ago. Apple is also one of the top company in augmented reality which is located in California, USA. Microsoft is also one of the top and most famous company in augmented reality which is located in Washington, USA. Fundamental VR is one of the company which uses augmented reality which is located in London, Great Britain. Now, my friend Vaishnavi will continue the topic called development engines and software development.
Okay, now let's know some of the development engines. First one is Unity. Unity is a cross-platform game developed by Unity Technologies and which is used to develop video games. And this was founded by David in the Denmark in the year 2005. And the next one is Code.dot. Code.dot is games, integrated games and development environment. And this was developed in the year 2007. And the next one is Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is an engine which completely suits for the creation of tools for the development of games. And this was being developed by Epic Games in the year 1998. The next one is Spark Studio. It is an augmented reality platform to create an AR effects for the mobile camera. And this was proposed by Nook in the year 2017. And the next one is Cry Engine. Cry Engine is a game engine used for the first person shoot video games far away. And this was developed in the year AR Core and Easy AR, 8th Wall and AR Kit, and last one is Light AR. These are all are the SDD for creating or for developing augmented reality.
Let's know what is the future of augmented reality. The AR market is growing exponentially. By 2030, they have estimated that the industry as a whole will be worth more than $76 billion. There will be a massive growth from $26 billion in 2021 to $76 billion by the year 2030. AR in marketing. In future, augmented reality will come into marketing, which provides a unique shopping experience.
We'll show a small demo on math-based augmented reality. It is a just basic application which developed using one of the development engine and SDK. So this application is developed using Unity as development engine, Ophoria engine as SDK. And we have used our college ID card as a marker, and this is the output. So we will show the live demo. We used Ophoria application for this.
I would like to call Nancy to propose vote of thanks.
Now, as we come to the end of this lively gathering, prior to winding it up, a few words of warmth to all of you. I, Nancy, from BSc MSc third year, take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank Almighty God for the travel, blessings, and grace on us, and turning this session into a resounding success. Now I express my deep gratitude to our correspondent Sister Shamala, Principal Sister Emmy, Sisters of Management, Head of Science Department St. Ann, Head of Language Department Johnson, and our beloved lecturers for organizing Parigyan to enlighten us with knowledge about the rise of technology. You all have always been generous with your time when your students need you no matter what. I owe special gratitude to Srinath sir, Parul ma'am for regular support, Madhu sir for excellent photography, anchors for today's event, and all the participants for their untiring efforts. I am praising your crucial work to staff. This session would not have been possible without you. I would be failing in my duty if I did not thank my fellow allies who have made this day possible with your wonderful presence.